13-0. 13-0. It is not often in Valorant games that you get a 13-0, particularly in pro games. In an upper final. Because this is the thing, normally when you get a 13-0, it's in games where one team is clearly much better than the other team, right? But not when your opponent, the people getting 0, have won their previous 3 games 2-0, to then come into an upper final and lose one of the maps 13-0. And the thing is, even as 13-0s go, this one felt like a beatdown from really the very start. There were not many rounds that felt that close, that winnable for Full Sense in this game. And as I said, it started with the very first round.
Up to do, and it's just try and set up John Olsen in this map immediately.
Straight into it, already stunned up, and Persia's going to be able to deny. That's the thing, John Olsen, he's gone relatively solo, and Danby has already opened up the site.
Okay, so you already know that they win the round, so I'm not going to show you the 5v2 that obviously they managed to convert there, Simpreza Gaming. But I am going to show you and talk about this pistol round because I don't like it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. To me, this is just not, it's not how pistol rounds work. Right, in pistol rounds in particular, right, the guns are just less good and people are less good with them, and therefore having more people in an area is good for you. I have no idea what this Omen is doing over here. What is this for? Who is this for? Like, you know, I guess if they full sprint A, you're hoping to hold this down long enough, but there's no Killjoy, you know, stuff here. You're going for some kind of trap play because the Killjoy still hasn't even put down alarm bot or a nano swarm that they have. So I'm gonna guess they're going for some kind of like, hey, I'm gonna alarm bot this, and then we're gonna come in here, you know, and then flash or whatever off it, which is a setup that they do later. That's a terrible setup on a pistol round as well, because this guy, you can whiff shots on a pistol round. You know, you might not even kill them before they've unflashed, or if the whole team's there, you're just gonna die like they do on this side of the map as well, because you're gonna go for, yeah, a stun and whatever, and you know, you're gonna run down here with your Neon and Sova. But if they come as a big pack at you here, whether it's 4 or 5 of them, which is pretty reasonable thing to happen on a pistol round, well, now you're just in a 2v4, and even if this util hits them, which some of this util does hit them, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're in a 2v4, right? And then you end up in this kind of problem of, oh, one guy's come down here, so now our breach who was stunning has to try and help this Sova get out, but it's too late, so both the Sova and the breach die there as well, right? Both of them just have absolutely no chance, just insta-dead straight away, and the round is over within 10 seconds. Okay, now let's come to the bonus round, because of course that's probably going to be one of the toughest rounds to win in any 13-0, and especially when you look at the buy actually of Simpreza here, you know, we've only got one full rifle, Bulldog Guardian, but a Sheriff and a Bucky, right? Like, okay, that's definitely not, you know, the greatest buy of all time, and in fact, they're actually just going to go for a fast B hit, which again, on a bonus round, you know, it isn't a crazy play, right? I mean, this is pretty simple. I mean, Simpreza at this point in the game are probably just thinking, hey, let's just get the spike down, you know, do some damage. You know, we'll go from there, right? They get in pretty easy, as you see, but this isn't a disaster, right? This isn't a disaster for Full Sense. You know, you've got the better weapons. You know, just take your time. You're giving up the site. You know, like, it's not the end of the world here. You should think that when we end in this kind of post-point, because you're going to see they try to get aggressive here with the Neon, right? But Danby realizes that's not really on the cards, so has to run away. At this point in the round, like, once we've got to here, they're also going to use their Omen Flash, which doesn't really catch anyone, I don't think, here. Like, you're thinking, okay, they've pushed them off the site. If we look at the map now, it's a 5v5. You've got the much better guns. You know, this should be a win, right? But it's anything but.
Putting out 3 in the link. Coming into reinvest now. This is that level of hesitance. They want to get back into this moment, and they desperately need it here, Full Sense. But once again, you know, Danby, he's just keeping them interested, keeping them focused. He's finding a second, looking for more. Then onto that spike defusal.
Oh,
Sushi
reload.
Boy, he's locking it in. He might have lost the time, but he's taken off. That's a big one. Sushi Boy's looking to get back on it now. But again, they just have to keep that control. Fox looking for more. He's got more, but is he having enough time? Oh, man, the pain of doing so much.
So yeah, this was like one of the few rounds that I think got close, although even if they won that last fight, I'm not sure they would have had time anyway, so the round was probably already over. But you die here to two of you to a Bucky, right? And I mean, look at this. How does Danby do this? Right? How is this happen? How does he kill this Neon? What is that? How does that happen? And then he gets a second as well. It's absolutely insane. And then he also, I mean, I think gives them the info. Maybe he sees just Sushi Boy there, he's on it. And obviously, yeah, I mean, in the end, you know, Fox does a pretty decent job of making this seem close. But at one point, this was a 4-on-1 in this bonus round that Fox managed to kind of turn around into what looked like a close round. But as I said, I think the time was already gone anyway. So there's your bonus round. In fact, it was the very next round, which is round number 4, where they're actually on an eco here, full sense. This is the round that is like the only round that they should have won. This is the only one. On an eco as well. Let's see how it starts.
Consistent, because this is what Frieza have been doing. They've been getting all up in your face, all up in your grill, and once again,
the reveal.
Diff. However, there is a respondent. Danby, pressure goes onto you now again.
Okay, so this is actually a really nice start to the round from Full Sense. They're gonna, you know, go full aggro, and as opposed to that pistol round where it felt like we're in 2 different rounds a bit, this one feels more kind of synergized. This turret might want to be on C, would be my one, you know, kind of minor nitpick, but I guess it's not awful being here on B either. But we're gonna go for a breach stun down here, Oma flash down here. We're gonna dart on this back wall. You see the smoke go up here as well, and we're just gonna aggro them. You can see the Oma flash coming out there. You see, you know, pushing both sides. We've got the dart. We're gonna roll across here right now. You know, it's a nice plan, right? It works. Okay, our Neon does maybe get a little overeager here and dies, you know, coming to Danby there, but you know, we get the kill with the Sheriff, we get the kill with the Sovereign as well, and then this is a crazy shot, right, for this breach, because we got a Sheriff here. This is not an easy shot, right, on like a sliding Neon, jumping around, you know, all this kind of stuff. You got literal Eminem. You got one shot to hit this, and you did. So nice shot there as well. So we end up in a 4v2, right? We're in a good spot now. It's a 4v2. We still don't have guns, right? We are going to, I think, go and pick up the Neon's gun just here with our Omen. But other than that, you know, there isn't a lot, right? So we're in a 4v2. That as we kind of, you know, play the round forward and, you know, not much is happening, they're obviously perhaps thinking, hey, maybe these guys have gone back. And if these guys have, you know, gone back and retreated whilst it's all gone silent, well, we want to push up here and get these guns, right? Because if we can get these 2 guns as well, you know, then we're going to win the round no matter what. So I think that that's probably what they're doing here. And hey, grouping up as a team here and kind of pushing this isn't, you know, they've only got 2 players left. So having 3 of you here, that's fine with me. You know, and our Killjoy is chilling. Like, this is fine. You know, this decision isn't that bad. The problem for them is, though, that, you know, they're going to go running into an outlaw. But again, we go 1 for 1. Hey, not the great, right? Great. It's now a 1v3. And this should be, from this point, unlosable.
A bit of a focus forward.
He does have the spike as well, but you never want to try and plant and get in a 1 versus 3 when you've got so many different angles. So he's just trying to play by the numbers, play by the timing, and space is provided himself, but now going for the plant. If you're Full Sense, you set up together as a unit, overwhelm him in numbers.
They had the buddy system, but now they've split up. This is going to be a really an awkward one to sort of get their way back in here. Fox already found so much. But again, Persia inside these dark covers. It's going to be that sense of surprise here as he pushes out. 1 already found. That's a pass mark here. Now he just continues to look to isolate here. Fox has given away his information. Still yet to be spotted is Sushi Boys. But this is where the pressure starts to amount because he can find the battle. He can find the duel. And once again, when you stare into the face...
Okay, so I hate so much about what they do here. Right, there's so much bad in this 3v1, right? So we ended up pushing this way. Our Omen is planting at this point on A, so we know, hey, they're on A, right? Great. You probably feel like at this point, hey, maybe this guy's planting here. It might seem like he is, right? And you've got the kind of sneak up, so I understand this. But you might say to this over, hey, and, you know, we see at the end, he ends up reloading his Sheriff. You know, there are guns here. But then this decision I don't understand as well. Why do they split up? I don't understand, because if you do think, hey, this guy's planting in like a default position here, if that's what you do think, you know, why would you split up anyway? Well, I mean, why would you ever split up? I have no idea. I could not tell you. I have absolutely no idea. Literally none. None. Okay, our Killjoy obviously is going to play this passive, particularly with this smoke here, because you think that the Omen might be pushing up here. Then you're going to get, you know, this smoke in here as well, which I think just adds to the chaos. You know, we get this Omen smoke in here that's our team. These 2 are by the opposing Omen, right? So not much we can do about that. But then we smoke this off as well, which I think, yeah, it's just adding to the chaos and allowing, you know, the kind of where this Omen could be kind of becomes a bigger question mark, right? And as we see what happens, particularly when we're split up like this and we're coming from kind of 3 different directions, I mean, he can come out of any part of these smokes and isolate a fight because you did the smoke. right? Like, what? And again, you chose to split up, right? You chose to split up at this point, and yeah, I mean, what isn't this just obvious that this is gonna happen? Like, I mean, he can come out of any smoke here and isolate a fight, which is absolutely crazy. That's exactly what happens, and then obviously, as we see, I mean, Fox just has a meltdown here, right? An absolute meltdown. It's unfortunate. The missed shock dart into the missed recon dart as well. Not ideal. Into the reload. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's move on. And let's move on here to round number 8. And let me tell you this. 13-0s are pretty tough, right? In fact, they're really tough. They're very, very rare in, like, you know, decent level Valorant games. And the reason for that is because at a certain point in time, your opponent is probably just going to get, like, all their ults online. And it's going to be tough to win a round when your opponent just ult spams you, right? You see it all the time. You know, when you get a lead of 7, 8, something like that, the opponent has all their ults, they use all their ults, they win a round, no 13-0, right? So how do you get a 13-0? Well, it's by using your ults in maybe less than ideal situations.
And one of these gambles stacks with full sense yet again, just down onto the lesser weaponry. I mean, you finally got a lockdown as Sushi Boys too, but overlooking one angle, yeah, that's a bit rough.
Definitely. At least John Olsen gets kind of one for some credit back, but side already taken. Spike about to get planted. Danby full in control once more.
I know this is just against a technical eco round of full sensors, but even on the rifle rounds, it's kind of the same copy-paste where Simprisa are pulling you away from the site that they're wanting to go towards.
We lose one here, but we'll go here instead. You know, we can continue to shift it up, continue to be versatile, adapt and overcome.
Lockdown in to buy time to bait it out with a flank from Persia this time because Margaret is gone. Now the site is still protected because Darby never left.
But the hesitation again, this is the thing, once they've got that sort of question behind them, but John Olsen at least opens up with one more, tries to jump on in, but SVG, Ivy, again to deny. Sushi Boys also punished. And
so yeah, using your lockdown here, I mean, it's a 3v4 and you've got one rifle. I mean, this is tough. This is tough. And obviously, we see it gets broken anyway. But even if it doesn't, what are your actual chances of winning this round? Right? Even if the lockdown doesn't get destroyed. And again, Simprisa, it's nice by them, right? Like, they're always thinking one step ahead. And I really, really like what Danby does in this round as well. You know, they're one step ahead. They go and break it. It's nice stuff, you know, from Simprisa, as it was for almost all of this game, right? They had to play very well as well. But when they get into a 3v3 and this becomes somewhat winnable, I love this. This is amazing. Right, to put up your neon wall like this, realize that, hey, this other neon is in heaven. I'm gonna use this wall, come back. You know, they obviously are gonna be scared that you're actually inside here, right, and waiting for them to push this. But in fact, I'm gonna come out of the wall and then go and isolate this other neon. Like, this is really good stuff. Even though he doesn't get the kill, I just thought that was, you know, very quick thinking, very, very well played. And as you see, Ivy mops it up, and that was 8. And then you always get nervous if you're rooting for a 13-0. On that other side, pistol round, you're always like, ooh, pistol round, kind of a 50-50. Will it go our way for the 13-0 and for the content, This time it did.
I get it. There's no question. It has to go their way, right?
Yep. There is only one way about it, and it's 12 rounds behind, so we'll think about this narrative. We'll think about this moment.
I was thinking Simprisa were at the right place with 3 members on this C side as well, but immediately rotating over towards A. The kick is up now with them getting in towards the side.
Though, isn't it? Yeah, like, you know, they've broken the trapwire. Now they try to get in. Dark cover goes down to try and isolate. It's going to be an all-out brawl on this C side.
5 versus 5. You're leaving Sushi Boys to lurk really largely in Leviathan as well to play a battle in the garage. You've already lost PDC.
Francis, really big start, but now they're just looking for the finish. You know, this would be a moment in time that could be talked about forever right now. SPG looking to set themselves up, and Margaret is going to be able to find it. It's going to be all eyes on John Olsen. It's his moment to shine right now. They've been questioning the whereabouts, but I think this is going to be a denial of service. Sushi Boys, man, I really wish you could have this, but guys, we have witnessed something that you could never have dreamed of in this moment. The run into the grand finals, to step up and say, this could be the grand